Welcome back to Thursday Thoughts. Here's a thought. What does power and authority, being the boss, look like to you? In the Roman time of their just supreme excellence, so to speak, they would have these triumphant parades. And the general who had conquered a bunch of people and got a bunch of spoils of war would come in on this golden chariot, and all these people going nuts and confetti. Think of like a World Series parade or a championship parade, but actually having slaves behind you and spoils of war, and they would be basically worshiped. Now compare that to Jesus coming into Jerusalem. Here he is going to his death, and people are actually starting to celebrate him, but he comes in not on a golden chariot, but on a donkey's foal that had never been ridden before. So shout out to Zephaniah 9:9, but it was humble compared to what the Romans would think. But people were yelling, Hosanna, long live the king, save us, king, all these things about Jesus. And he was actually coming to save them by dying. And so here's this thing in Mark 11 that talks about the power of the Most High compared to the power of the Roman government at that time. And I just want to say this to you. Fruit that lasts proves where the power really lies. And Jesus, 2,000 years later, and still for eternity, will be the king. And Rome and America and England and France and Germany and all those things have always fallen apart, and they always will. It's Jesus only. Second thing in Mark 12 I wanted to tell you about was that neither the scriptures nor the power of God, Jesus says to these leaders in authority. Do you know the scriptures? Not everything in them, but do you know enough to know that God is the power? His is the way, the truth, and the life, and his name is Jesus. Knowing him, know this authority by knowing his word, believing it, and sharing it. Finally, Mark 13:23, Jesus says, be on your guard. I've told you all things beforehand. He wants us to be aware of what's coming, and it's him. He's coming back. He is the king. He is here, and he's living in our spirits. But the truth is, he's coming back physically to rule and to reign. And he is not holding back. He tells us things beforehand. So trust this humble, amazing, awesome king. Know his word and be on guard. He's told us these things ahead of time. All right, look, love God, love others. Jesus made it really clear those are the most important things. And then for us, with loving God and loving others as we love ourselves, we're going to serve generously. So live that out. Jesus is coming back, and he is the king. All right, I'll see you next week.